These are 4 photographs by Peter Hugo, who's a contemporary South African photographer. And this particular series is called There is a Place in Hell for Me and My Friends. And this series I saw initially 2 years ago at Paris Photo, and I was immediately drawn to them because of their striking appearance. The eyes really have it. And what's happening in here is that even though there are people who are black and white, they all look the same. And so you have Michael Cleary at the end here. He's Irish, and yet he looks black. So it's questioning things about our appreciation of individuals. Also, we can see here the emphasis of skin damage in Frederica's face. She's had quite a lot of sun exposure, and you can see that there's quite a lot of damage to her skin. And this would be totally different to what her appearance would be if it was just a straight to see print. So these are 3 photographs by Gary Coyle from his series Lovely Water. And Gary he swims every day at the 40-foot in Sandy Cove, and actually I joined him today for a swim. And so each photograph is taken from the water with a Canon waterproof camera. And these 3 particularly emphasize place because we could see the Poolbeg power station chimneys in each of the images. But they're all taken on different days, so we have a different idea of weather and sky from each image. So looking at the Lovely Water series, each photograph is taken on a particular day, and there's a record of that on the sign on the link. But what's interesting about these photographs is that it's an ongoing series. So every day Gary goes to the 40-foot, he carries his camera with him. So he's swimming with this camera and gets a photograph. And what's amazing from this whole series of work is how different every day looks. In contrast to Gary's work, we have this photograph by Asako Narahashi called Joan Jimya No. 3. And this is also photographs taken from the water, from her series Half Awake, Half Asleep. And these are from Japan, and this photograph in particular has more of an apocalyptic type feel, which is something that I tend to feel occurs more with Japanese photography. Here we see the plane about to land at Haneda Airport, but in fact it looks like the plane is about to crash into the water. So it has a very sinister feel to it. Doug Dubois I met actually the first time during our initial exhibition Out of the Darkroom 3 years ago, and I've come to know him quite well, and we spent a little bit of time talking about this body of work, which really shows a very different side to growing up in Ireland. Some of the photographs are really tableaus where these photographs are really set stage pieces. Each of the photographs is staged. Doug uses a large format camera to take the photographs, and you'll see that in some of the frames the same children appear. So it's really interesting. The photograph of Erin is very important because she was the first person really who made the entree to Doug to the housing estate, and she's featured in several of his photographs here and in the greater body of work. This photograph is a boxer diptych by Nikolai Hawalt, who's a Danish photographer. This series of work was done between 2000 and 2003. And Nikolai took a photograph of a boy, actually, and some girls, who went through their first boxing match. So you have a photograph before the boxing match and then after, and you see what's happened after that. So you can see the blushing and the sweating. In some of the photographs, the children actually are much more bloodied, and so the comparison becomes heightened.